everyone! Happy Halloween! So today I wanted to do a kind of Halloween themed video, but not like a costume or anything because it's too late now. So my husband suggested that maybe I try to do something with leftover Halloween candy. So that's what I'm gonna do today. It's been a while since I've made a cake, and I've been seeing this style of cake. I think it's called a fault line cake. The middle, it kind of looks like it's cracked away and it's exposing stuff. Usually people do like sprinkles or some kind of design. I thought that I could do Halloween candy. I also want to try something. It has to do with marshmallows. I don't know how well that's gonna work. So yeah, I'm gonna do the fault line cake and show you guys how I did it. So, to start, I have this cake that I already made. It's just like chocolate box cake. It's nothing really special. I'm just gonna use this cake leveler to level my cake. I also have another cake right here. I'm going to probably try to get 3 layers out of this and then get 2 layers out of this. So we'll see how that goes. And then I'm just gonna save the like scraps because I can. I'm going to continue cutting my cake. I have some wax paper to put all the layers on so that they're nice and separated. So here we go. Alright, now that these are all cut up, I'm going to set them aside while I make my frosting. So first I'm going to make some orange buttercream. I'll leave the recipe down below if you guys want to use the recipe that I use. So yeah, basically I'm going to make my frosting and then put some orange food dye in it. This isn't as orange as I wanted, but gotta make do with what you got. So first, I'm gonna put a little dollop right here, make sure it sticks. On goes the first layer. I'm gonna just, oh, hello Uni. I'm just gonna do the filling and then do a crumb coat. These little turntables are like super awesome. If you like to make cakes, I definitely recommend investing in one. Make sure it's not tilting. I'm going to put aside a little bit of this icing so it doesn't get crumbs in it, because this next step is called the crumb coat. So for the crumb coat, this basically is just to like seal in and lock in all the crumbs. So when we're doing the final frosting layer, the crumbs don't come out and mess up our pretty icing. I like to like gloop it on top and then slowly work down. What's up, Boone? What's up? What? What? And now I want it to be nice and straight, so I'm going to take a bench scraper and scrape it. Alright, this looks pretty good, so I'm gonna stick this in the fridge to harden up while I clean up a little bit and then make the outer icing. Alright, after I cleaned up, I chopped a bunch of chocolate up for our ganache. I think this is like 12 ounces of chocolate, and then I need a cup of heavy whipping cream. Fingers crossed I have enough. So I'm going to heat it in like 30-second intervals until it's nice and hot. So once it's all nice and hot, I did about 1 minute and 30 seconds in total. You just pour that on top. And then we're going to let this stand for about 5 minutes before even attempting to whisk it. Alright, and now we whisk. And actually I'm a little worried because it feels kind of cold. Okay, it's not as smooth as I would want, so I think I need to heat it up a little bit more. Obviously not in this bowl. I guess I'll just do it in this thing. Not a bowl, but it should work. Now microwave this a little bit. Okay, this is much better. So now I have to let it sit to cool down a little bit more, and then we will put it into my stand mixer with the whisk attachment and whip it up until it's nice and fluffy. Okay, this is now set up pretty nice and firm. So I'm going to add it to my mixing bowl and then whip it up. You could just use this as icing. Probably not this setup, but I wanted to whip it just to give it a little bit more fluffiness, I guess. I also want it to be black, so I have some black food dye, and I'm gonna throw some in. I put quite a bit because I really want it to be really black, so hopefully that's enough. So let's go mix it up. And here we go. This is what it looks like. Next, I'm going to prepare the candies that I'm going to stick on the thing. So I have this assortment of colorful candies, and I have a couple small fun size chocolates. I'll probably cut these in half so that you can see the insides. So actually, let's do that real quick. And this is just the cutting board that I used to cut the chocolate. That's why there's chocolate all over it. The cake that I'm making isn't really that big. It's only a 6-inch cake, so I don't really need that many chocolates, I guess. I'm just gonna do some of these chocolates and then the rest of it with those candies as filler. Ideally, I would have had some candy corn mixed in here, but I couldn't find it, weirdly enough. It's October. I don't know why there's no candy corn, but whatever. I mean, who actually eats candy corn anyway, right? So I have those. If I need more, I'll cut some more. So let's go get the cake. There it is, all nice and set up. You can see here I like bumped it in the fridge, so that kind of sucks, but whatever. So what I'm gonna do now is take some of this buttercream that I put aside, and along the middle I'm gonna do a strip of the buttercream. You can pipe this if you want, but I don't really feel like it. You just want to get a thick enough layer to like be able to stick the candies into. But it doesn't need to be like all the way up and down because that's going to be covered with the ganache icing that we made. So now the fun part where we cover it with the candies. So I'm gonna stick these randomly, and actually that's sticking out quite a bit. I might cut these a little bit smaller. I don't want them to stick out too much or else you're gonna have to have a really, really thick layer of frosting. Okay, let's try this again. And once I have enough of these guys, then now I'm going in with these. And you can like literally just like stick them on like this. Okay, just gonna gonna do this to really make sure they're squished in good. Easy way to fill one of these up. First you flip the edge like that so that the icing doesn't get all over the very top edge. You get a cup or a mug. A cup would work better. And then I like to twist this so that it seals it, so that it doesn't leak onto the bottom of your cup. Put it on. And actually this is probably a little bit small, but whatever. We'll run with it. And then put your icing in. I can get this out. Alright, plan B. I think I'm going to take the tip off and just use the bag. Okay, let's see if this works better. Squeeze this out. Ooh, this might be easier with a buttercream icing. So now is when the magic is supposed to happen, and we shall see if I can get it to work. You just want to carefully spread this out. Thankfully we did the crumb coat, so there's not really anything coming up, even though this icing is pretty stiff. I don't know if Ganache is really the right choice for a fault line cake. Maybe I just let it set too long, because like, see how it's turning all crumbly? It's not looking as nice. Like this side is okay, this side is not. And like the more I'm messing with it, the more it's messing up. I wonder if it would be better if I blowtorched my bench scraper and get it hot. I don't know if that did anything. It's not like the prettiest cake, but like the fault line effect is working. It's a little crumblier than, like it's not supposed to be like crumbly like this, but I think that's just because of the frosting that I'm using. If it was buttercream, it wouldn't, I don't think it would be like this. So here it is. It didn't really go exactly as planned. I don't think that Ganache is really like the best icing to do on this, at least for like the outermost layer. I think initially it was like looking pretty good, but I kept messing with it, so it got like really crumbly and like weird looking. So maybe it's just because I let it set up too much like as I was working on it. So what I'm going to try to do now is something that I mentioned earlier. I'm going to take some marshmallows and melt them, stretch them over the cake so that it looks like cobwebs. Hopefully that adds to the Halloweeniness of it and can hide all of my mistakes that I made. But first I need to put it on a cake stand. So I'm gonna go get that. I'm losing like chunks of it. Okay. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Ooh. Well, a lot of the icing came off at the bottom. So here it is. I guess it doesn't look too bad. I think before I do the cobwebs, because you kind of stretch them over like the cake stand, I'm going to put a little bit of candy like around the bottom to kind of hide, like this is where I kind of messed up the icing at the bottom when I pulled my hands out. Alright, so I'm gonna I need a microwavable bowl. So you just want to put some marshmallows into a microwavable bowl and then microwave them to melt them. once they're all microwaved, just stir them up. And you want to let them cool down enough so that you can touch it, because right now it's probably like molten hot. And now the fun part and the messy part, you just gotta get your hands in there. I'm scared it's gonna get all over my hands. Here we go. So get like a glob of it and kind of like mush it around in your hands. Oh, thanks, Uni. And then you kind of want to, look how cool that looks. And then stretch it over the cake. And you just repeat that until you think it looks good. This is like what I needed. It's almost like I'm messing it up, but like, it's fun. This is another time when you need to know when to stop yourself, like me and the ganache, where I did not stop myself fast enough. So I'm just going to do a little bit more to cover these blank spots, and then I'm going to call it done. So now I need to clean up. Here's the cake. The marshmallow looks cool like right away, but I think because I stretched it over and it didn't have contact like with the cake on the sides, it's kind of like breaking apart and looking kind of sparse on the sides. So I think that if I did this in the future, I would try to make it stick just to the cake and not kind of stretch over the cake stand. But it was still a lot of fun, especially after getting really frustrated at how it was going. The top looks pretty neat. I was gonna tilt it, but it's probably not a good idea. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, especially for my first time doing these two techniques, a fault line cake and a spiderweb looking thing. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all of that good stuff. Here's today's featured project. If you want to be featured here in a future video, then use the hashtag CheslinDIY on Instagram or Twitter, and you'll have a chance to be up here. If you want to follow me on any of my social media, the links to those will be down below. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, please leave a comment down below. Happy Halloween, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much to my patrons for helping me produce this video. If you like my videos and have learned something from them, please consider supporting me on Patreon to help me continue to make them. It's totally optional. I'll still be making videos either way. It just helps me be able to put out better stuff. A link will be down below, or you can just click up here in the corner.